Hello, this is Bill McAfee. I'm the president of Empire Title Company in Colorado Springs, Colorado. For those of you that have seen these YouTubes, you know you're in for, well, I call it a treat. You probably call it torture out there. But I'm going to do a little dragnet, something from, probably dates myself a little bit. You youngsters aren't going to get this at all, but we're going to have fun with it. Hello, my name is Bill Friday. The story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. This is a Pikes Peak multiple listing system for the month of February 2013. It all started as a normal day. Then we took a look, and the number of listings that were available were for sale were at a decade low, in fact 12 years to be exact. We all wondered why. How could this be? A couple of reasons. Building permits over the last several years were at rates we hadn't seen since the 1960s. Building virtually stopped from 08 to 10, so we're starting to come back. Take a look at this, interest rates. Interest rates are at a historic low. Now what that means for you as the buyer, you're going to be happier than a one-armed paper hanger and a, see I can't even say it, I'm not sure where I'm going with that. Anyway, you buyers are going to be really happy, mark my words for it. We look right here, 1981, we look right here, 1971. We look right here is where we are now. So what I got to say is, where are we going to go? Looking at this, this is the number of months of inventory that we have available for sale. This is a very technical calculation, and what this figures is the demand that we have over the past 12 months and how that translates into the future. The lower this number is, the better our market is. Looking over here, you're looking back to 2007. We're running at 2007 levels as far as demand versus units available for sale. What this means for you sellers, you may get a little bit of relief. More than a guy who ate a big spicy pizza and took a lot of Maalox. On to the next one, the number of sales on a 12-month running average. Notice the sales that we're putting through right now, we're just under about 790 units a month. The last time we saw that was 2007, 2008 on the way down. Go back to 2003 on the way up. So, on to the next slide. What's happened is the number of listings we have is very low. In fact, lower than we've seen in a decade. The number of buyers we have in the market is reveling about the norms that it was in 2003 and then 2008. What that's translating to, for those of you who are technical, is a selling percentage that's 23%. That's higher than a young man who just found a bunch of catnip. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Moving on to the next, inventory. Inventory levels are calculated on the previous 12 months demand versus what's available for sale. If we were to look at the $1 million plus inventory, that's a man on death row. Basically no hope, at least in the near term. Looking here in the 750 to $1 million, you know what, we still have some hope, but you're another 5 years before you're getting out of the big house, mister. Looking down here in the 500 to 750,000, we're starting to see a little reprieve. You may see parole in 3 years, okay? Once we hit the 400,000 and the 300,000, we're talking 6 months, and if you keep your nose clean, and you know what I mean cleaner than a young kid who just had a sinus infection. Think about that. Moving on down here, the 300, the 200. Once you hit 200 and below or 250 and below, you are getting out of the big house today. You better go out and find yourself a job, and you better buy yourself a nice house because interest rates are lower than they've ever been. Number of homes available for sale is lower than it's been in a decade, and the way them houses are selling, they're selling like hotcakes. I'm talking hotcakes on a cowboy breakfast here during the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo. Looking at the number of units that are selling, about 71% of the sales that we have that are selling in our multiple listing system, they're selling below 250,000. About 29% are selling above. Now, what that tells me is you better find yourself a good real estate agent, and I mean a good one. One that can get you out of jail if you call him at 12 o'clock at night. That's totally a joke. Don't even think about that. You need a real estate agent who can judge the market, who knows the inventory levels in each price range. He knows them better than Cujo knows the kind of upholstery he likes to eat out of a Ford Pinto. Moving on now, what has this all led to in RMLS? And this, my friends, is the truth. This isn't changed to protect the innocent. We have, comparing January and February of this year to January and February of last year, average sales price up 7.8%. Median sales price up 15.8%. I wouldn't lie to you on something like that. As we move on, inventory levels are down almost 16% comparing January and February of this year to January and February of last year. Residential units sold are up 34%. Looking down here, foreclosures are still going down, and they have since 2009, okay? They've gone lower than some comedians and said some things that I can't even repeat right now, even though I'm just dying to drop some kind of word, okay? Foreclosures down, interest rates are at historic lows. So, my friends out to you buyers, find those real estate agents that can guide you through the minefields. Find those that will keep you out of prison. You sellers, don't get all crazy on me, and I need you to listen to me. Even now, in that low price range, don't price yourself out of the market. Don't get yourself to where you can't sell, because you don't want to end up in the big house. You don't want to end up in a striped shirt, okay? Because you may see me there. All right, this is Bill McAfee, President of Empire Title. Have a great day.